Don't touch me.
All right.
What is that?
Oh, I've got a thing sticking out. Oh, well, this thing is probably hitting branches. Build back better money and fix this road, huh? Branch up there.
This one was my next. I was going to take that next.
Yeah.
But the more I'm looking, this branch
It's got tension, huh?
has got a lot of tension on it from this. I cut it off hoping it would show me something, but it didn't. So,
Well, let's,
oh, hang on.
okay, go ahead.
This one I discovered yesterday late afterwards, sort of hiding back here.
That's some serious.
I'm thinking a lot of the weight of this tree is being held up by that popple against that branch.
Yeah.
And so the only thing I thought of doing was first trying to saw through here, but you'd go through the top, the bottom, whatever. You have wedges with you?
No.
Okay, I have one back at the woodshed. Or do we try to cut this thing off from this side? Because it wants to go this way.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what if we, but take this end off first? Get rid of some of this stuff. So it's got less weight on it anyway. Well, I don't know. Because if...
well, all right. Well,
go ahead.
the thing that really had me going, and I discovered it late, was this one's hovering above everything. If we're working right under it, and then there's the one even farther up, which is all
Jesus, yeah.
a big offshoot from this one.
Fortunately, that doesn't seem to have any tension on it. But
No.
That's sure adding to the weight.
So then I thought, well, can we, with the pole saw, well, the pole saw really is the answer for me, so we can be back a ways. Can we try and cut that top one
Yeah. Yeah.
first and cut it from the top, so the weight of it would just bring it down?
The only thing is, now that's going to be sitting entangled up in that stuff.
Right. And it's waiting to come down then when we
Yeah.
let something else come down.
No, I think we got to start from the bottom.
Okay.
I Let's get some of the weight off up there with the pole saw.
Oh, they are huge. Jesus.
I bought a self-propelled cordless
Chainsaw?
No, lawnmower. So where was I going to start? That could spring towards you. Nope. Okay.
You might wanna come at that from underneath now.
Really?
You see the end of it? It is hung up in that.
Oh, I see.
It's binding on you?
Yeah, well, it's not, it won't go in.
Oh.
But yeah, you're right, it's closed up.
What about the one?
Well, I'm going to, so you think that could come this way? Yeah, it could.
I wasn't even thinking that. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Ooh, that's interesting. There's no weight.
Oh, it's all free.
Yeah.
Oh my God, okay. That's huge.
Yeah, because now we can take that thing down from
Yes.
that end.
Yeah.
Well, that was a non-event.
Huh?
That was a non-event for all.
I know. Jesus. What if you held the saw upside down so the curve is going the other way? Yeah. Well, that's where we are now. It looks more severe than it is, I guess, because the vertical drop is maybe an inch, inch and a half. Unlike the vertical drops we're seeing here are a lot more. No place to set the chair yet. I could try to set it in here. But it drops off very quickly. This is a high ridge that goes down. I'm thinking the beaver is really not around much, if at all, anymore, because there's nothing for it to do. We don't have an overflow. Haven't had rain now for 6 days. The likelihood of rain doesn't come until Sunday and Monday this coming week. Or next week, I guess. And we're in another period of beginning a drought. And they talked about this on the radio this morning, that even though southern Minnesota had 3 inches, 2¼ inches, up to 5 inches, and we're high and dry again, that we are apparently, according to them, beginning to enter drought levels. I've got myself heavily sprayed with Repel 40% beat. And mosquitoes have been chasing me the whole time I've been out here. But now that I'm not moving, there's a few around, but they're not little ones dancing in front of my face. You know, you just saw Suki race past. She doesn't seem to be having any trouble with her hips, her knees, her arthritis. We came outside this afternoon for me to split wood. She came out with me. I didn't have to invite her. She came out. She thought maybe we were going to go for a walk down the driveway at the mailbox. No, I don't want to take her down the driveway because the deer flies are just rampant right now. So I said about my work, and she paced around and around. She lay down. Get back up, pace, 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 around, sniffing the ground. She could not calm down. She's been doing this the past couple weeks when we go out. She doesn't want to just lay down. She used to lay in the yard and sleep. So I brought her back in the house. I don't know what that's about. There again is a little tell for me, knowing her usual habits and ways of being, that is contrary to it. So I'm constantly in a worry wart mode. Looks like a deer fly hump to me. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. See? Yes. Perfect. Every so often you get one that's highly cooperative. I love it when they are. You just never can tell from one section to the next, because all of them are straight down the sides, mostly. You get a few once in a while where they've got a little bubble in the outside. Look out. You open it up and you find out why it's got a bubble on the outside. It's got knots, but some are really compliant. Some of these chunks split themselves. I could almost go inside, get my water bottle, come back out, and it would be all split and loaded into the, what is that, wheelbarrow. Beautiful wood grain running down the center. Well, I'm going to have to empty this thing next. Hey! I have a bit of good news to report. It is becoming apparent to me that the ticks are on their summer hiatus. Their summer vacation is here. I haven't seen or picked a tick off me for, it's hard to remember when, because if, you know, what you don't see, you don't think about. But it's been 4 or 5 days now. Yay. And it really is a thing. I think about a month ago, going outside, walking anywhere out in the grasses. No, maybe it was 3 days ago. I walked around down in there over by the rain gauge, and I came inside and picked a tick off my hand. But since then, there's been nothing. Happy day. I haven't picked one off Suki, actually, come to think of it. That is really the indicator. I haven't seen one on the love seat. I haven't picked one off her. Dead one here and there that have been dead probably for 4 or 5 days. And they don't fall off immediately. They have to fall off when they feel like it. I don't know, have I mentioned the yellow jackets this year are twice the size that they were last year. I mean, these are beasts, flying slugs, and they haven't been at all in the quantities that they were last year. All right, it's time to go feed Suki, and then we're going to go down to Otter Pond and check the water level again. We haven't had rain again now since the last time we didn't have rain. works. It's lovely to see a view out there again. I am trusting that I am in focus because this old memory is good, but it's short. I have preset custom settings available to me in this camera. Number one is for still photography. Number two is for video. And all of the settings that I save for video are different than they are for stills. You save them to a preset. So when I go to number two, it's already set for video. I can alter those as I want, but I turn the camera off and they go away unless I save them. Anyway, setting number three has 3 submenus or sub-settings that I can set. 3-3 is for slow motion. 3-2 is for time-lapse. 3-1, oh, I was going to set that up for some other thing the other day. And when I went to it and began looking at the settings for it, it was set up for facial recognition, which I've talked about recently. The frustration of the camera focusing on what animal detect or facial detection and yada, yada, yada. And I already had that set up from a year ago. I forgot it and I haven't used it. So now I'm using it. Just turn the camera on, set it to submenu 3.1 and boom, you're off and running. I don't have to worry about it anymore. So here we are, down at Otter Pond. A very high water Otter Pond, but compared to what it was 2 weeks ago, it's probably a vertical 6 to 8 inches down, but still way higher than it was last year at this time. I wonder what kind of bird that is. I have an app on the phone that I got 3 years ago for identifying bird calls. Merlin. Some of you may have heard that. I downloaded it 3 years ago and promptly forgot about it. But on the radio yesterday, there was a bird lady talking about birds. Very energetic, lively, interesting woman to talk to or with. Guy asked, what is this bird? He tried to imitate the bird. And she mentioned getting the Merlin bird ID app, and I perked up. Oh, that's right, I've got it on my phone. So I tried it yesterday. I didn't have it set up. I didn't realize I didn't have it set up for my location. And you push record, and it's listening to what you're recording, and then begins making suggestions of what this call is. I did that just now with the bird that I was talking about, and it gave me 3 suggestions. A red-eyed vireo, and as it's listening to the sound, it presents possibilities. The second one was gray catbird, and third was a song sparrow. But as we were going, it repeatedly highlighted gray catbird. Well, I don't know if that's right or not. And they're very careful to say, well, there's a lot of factors, we can't be exact every time, but we can give you the best guess. This is very cool. Start a new recording. I am smiling because one of the suggestions was the American red start. That's the little jolly, happy, industrious guy that I discovered 3 or 4 years ago and on the property, and was so enchanted I had to find out what it was first. But I saw it once last summer, briefly, just once or twice, briefly around in the property, and then I didn't see it anymore for the summer. And that's the one that I found dead on the floor of the Ranger 2 or 3 weeks ago. It had hit the windshield, tried to pass through the front of the Ranger, and there's a window there, killed it. And I haven't seen a red start since. I'm assuming it was nesting season and raising young season. We can't afford to lose any birds for any reason. So if this is a red start it's hearing, that would be very good news. A lot of activity out here. In the sense of, I just complained about it, there's no activity out here. Birds flying across from one side of the pond to the other.